This is Jeff with Southern Homestead, and I'm just coming back to you with a review of 23andMe. If you've watched my previous video, you've seen me do my DNA reveal, which wasn't really a reveal at all, but just a little bit of frustration because my sample didn't contain enough DNA, and they sent me an email saying basically that the sample failed. I chose 23andMe because of the research component. 23andMe does a lot of research. They work with universities and other researchers to further genetic testing for a lot of common disorders and diseases. And I really liked that aspect of 23andMe, and that's why I chose them. If you watched my wife's video, she chose Ancestry, and her results came back rather quickly, where mine did not, unfortunately. And I also chose 23andMe because it was different than my wife's. I was doing 23andMe, she was going to do Ancestry, and then maybe sometime in the future I was going to do Ancestry, she was going to do 23andMe, because they do give you different information. This review is more to do with 23andMe as a company and their customer service than the actual DNA results, because I haven't gotten any DNA results. I got the email from them, I did the video, and then I thought about it for a couple of days, and I contacted them through their customer service. If you watch my other video, you know that I don't live in America, I live in China. I spend most of my time in Asia. I'm only in the United States for a few weeks a year, 5 or 6 weeks a year. And for me to get back to do a test is difficult. So I sent them an email and I asked them if they could ship it to a residence in Asia. And I went through their customer service form online and sent off the email. And when it does that, it gives you this little message that most of their emails are answered within 24 hours. Well, the first day goes by, no response. The second day goes by, no response. I get into the third day and I get an email or I don't get a response, I'm sorry. I get a little annoyed, and I sent off a second email through their request form. I go through the form, I basically do the same thing I did last time, told them what was going on, asked if they told them I didn't really want a refund, I wanted to do another test. And I sent that email out. I get the same message, emails responded to usually within 24 hours. Well, about 40 hours later, so now we're 5 days after, nearly 5 days after I sent off the first email, I got a reply to the first email. And the reply was, sorry, we cannot ship it to any other country than the original was shipped to. They asked if I had a valid U.S. address they could ship a replacement to. And if I did not have a valid U.S. address that I could have a replacement shipped to, that they would put in a request for refund that would be reviewed. And I was a bit disappointed, and I was thinking through things. I'm a thinker. I was thinking through things, and I get through the day, and 21 hours after I received that email, I got another email from them, and this time it was a response or a follow-up to their response. And the email was basically stating they needed an answer from me soon, and if I could please make a decision and send them a reply. So I was kind of shocked, really. It took them 5 days to answer the email, and then they didn't even give me a full 24 hours before they were requesting a response from me, wanting to know what to do. I didn't respond right then. I was still trying to process it, thinking what I could do. I asked them if somebody else could take the test, and it was registered to me, so nobody else could take the test. So I asked them for a refund, and I sent out the email and request for a refund, and that's where I was really surprised, because within like 10 hours of sending that email, the money was refunded to my account, and that was the end of it. So yeah, it took a little bit to get the initial reply, 5 days. I don't know if they're just overwhelmed or they're low on staff. I don't know what the deal is. I have an opinion. It's an opinion. I'll share that with you right now. Ancestry and MyHeritage and some of the other DNA testing sites out there have a service to sell to their consumers. Ancestry has the family tree software. MyHeritage has their own. And some of the other ones have things too. 23andMe does not. They have very little to offer the end user that's getting the DNA testing other than a DNA profile and some family matching. Their business model is more geared towards research and providing data to researchers and to universities and selling them that data. And I'm okay with that. I love the research, I'm okay with that. But it also puts them in a position, I feel, that they have much less wiggle room and much less room to hire a lot of staff or money staff to deal with the end user, the consumer that is buying the test and getting the DNA. They push things to online forums and forums for customer service, and there's not a lot of people-to-people interaction. If that's their business model, I'm not arguing with it, but it does. That's my thinking. Is maybe when they run the specials, because I bought mine when it was on special, they just get overwhelmed and some samples get delayed in processing, which causes some problems. So the question I'm left with is, will I do it again? Maybe. I'm not real sure about that yet. Like I said, I really value the service they offer. I am adopted by my dad. I know my mom's side. I have a cousin that's done a lot of research in genealogy, so know a lot about my mom's side of the family. Especially my grandfather and my cousin's dad, they're brothers. So know a lot about my side of the family, my mom's side. Nothing about my dad's. I have no idea what there is. So the DNA testing was going to help answer some of those questions. It's not that I'm looking for him. I'm not. If you watch my previous video, you'll see some of the struggle I have with that. But it is just getting some answers. You know, we all sometimes think, who am I and what's my purpose and what am I doing here? So, will I do it again? With 23andMe? Maybe. Ancestry? Probably so. I've already ordered in an Ancestry kit and asked one of my children if they wanted to do it. And one of my kids right away said yes, they would like to do it. All my children are grown, they're all adults, so they have the right to choose. So with that, this is Jeff from Southern Homestead. 23andMe review. Good company. Unfortunately, I had a failed sample. We'll see if I'll do it again. Have a good day.